Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So as mentioned in my previous video, we will be today deploying some resources using Terraform, Pulumi, and Bicep side by side, and then we can do a comparison which one is easier and how easily we can handle Terraform or Bicep or Pulumi. So before we proceed, I'll just give you over. So we will deploy a VM in AWS using Terraform, and in Pulumi it will use a Python code in order to create a S3 bucket. And Bicep we will be using, as Bicep is for Azure only, so we'll be deploying a VM in Azure. So before we proceed, we need to have make sure we have Terraform and Pulumi installed and Azure CLI being installed. So if you don't have installed, make it sure you install it and set up the environment, set up the path for your environment variables. So it's very important. So you can just go through it one by one. First, you install the Terraform, then CLI, then Pulumi. So make sure you configure your AWS configure, select the region, and pass your IAM credentials like a user ID, secret ID, and the key. So make it sure you have added. So if you haven't, then you can watch my previous video in which most of the time I'm IDE, in the VS Code, you can set it up. And for Azure, you can install it and just use the AZ login and you can log into your Azure. So these are the few things that you need to take care. So before we proceed, so we will check the version. So I will just quickly move on to the VS Code. So I will showcase you how I have created three separate folders for three of them, Terraform and the Bicep and the Pulumi. So how we are going to use. So make sure you check by putting Terraform-v to whether it is being installed on AZ, then Pulumi and the Python. That is very. So as I mentioned you, don't forget to add the system path and all. If it is not found, you won't be able to execute those commands from the VS Code. So make it sure the cloud providers, as I mentioned, we need to configure the AWS configure, AZ login for Azure. For Pulumi also, you need to create a sign up to your account, and you can set the local or the cloud backend in order to perform your operations. So it is very critical in order to perform this lab. Let's move on to the VS. So you can see over here in my VS Code. So I've configured my AWS account over here. So if you see, I have created three folders over here: Bicep, Pulumi, and Terraform. Let's go to the Terraform. So there is a .tf file, a Terraform file. I'm not aware with Terraform. I have a separate video on Terraform just for the beginners. It's a 10 minutes video. You can just go through it, that video. So you can just how you can utilize the Terraform. So here you can see over here, just a small template is here in which choosing the region, then the EC2 instance is being spun, and that is a tag being added to it. So as we already know, like in order to execute this, we have to do the Terraform init and the Terraform apply command in order to execute. So I'm just mentioning over Terraform. Let me check Terraform. So I'm in some separate directory. So let me move on to this directory over here. It is some other directory. Let me pull it down the terminal over here. So now I'm in that terminal. Terraform hyphen. That's a version of the Terraform that's being installed. And then form, so it's initializing, it's creating those, may take some. So you can see over here, the Terraform has been initialized. Now the next thing that we have to run over here, let the Terraform in. So you can see this files are getting added over here. Then we will say Terraform. So in the meantime, okay, so enter, so yes, it's creating it. So we can quickly switch over here to my AWS console. So we can check over. So you can see one instance is running. So you can see the name Terraform EC2. Just now I started. So this is how you can utilize the Terraform in order to spin an EC2 instance. Now the next thing, so this is how you can copy this template from the HashiCorp website. And there is a predefined like template, just you need to change these values, these highlighted values over here. So you need to change it and then you can spin that particular. Now coming back to Pulumi over here. Now here Pulumi also I have created, not created myself. I have just created a folder. So it's very easy over here whenever you're working with Pulumi over here, you just create a directory over here. So I just created one directory. You can mention anything over here, mkdir s3, or let's say I'm making S3 bucket. So I just name it as S3, then change the directory, and then you just write Pulumi new AWS Python. So once you execute this command, so basically it is going to load all the definitions and all. It will load all the environments. It will create this YAML dev environment, mentioning your region and adding the gitignore file, as well as this basic Python file in which always there will be S3 bucket being created. So you can write something else. Also, you can see the environment. So these things are getting automatically created when you mention this command over here, Pulumi new AWS Python. So it will automatically generate all these things. So it will take some time. So I'm not showing you over here. So once you execute this command, it will take around 2 to 3 minutes in order to install the Pulumi and all. If you're first time, you need to create a sign up to your account and you need to enter the credentials. It will ask you for the credentials. So once you have entered, it won't ask you. Then all these things is done. You can just uh, go to that particular directory and just simply Pulumi. That's it. So this is the only command that you have to execute in order to create an S3 bucket, and the bucket name, let's say my bucket demo. So it will be getting created, and you can see in the dev over here, this is the region being defined US East. So let's execute this so we can view in the. So this is already my account is. Let me go back to that VS Code. Let me switch. If you face with that like online that credentials some issues, you can just log in local and then you can just make a Pulumi app and then you can enter some both the ways you can do it. So now we case previewing this may take some time. You can see over here even I can show you another instance running over here. So actually I have created all in the same so you can avoid. Yep. So here also so basically it's not configured, that's why it's giving me error. Anyways, let me check. It's just previewing the update. It may take some time. So in the meantime, we can just let's let it finish this one automatically. We will just wait for a while, or we can just go in another way. So we will just move on to the bicep over here. You can it's creating a virtual machine, and this is the publisher Ubuntu. This SKU18 latest version from image. This is a very basic bicep template. You can get it from the GitHub if you want. So I will just open a new terminal over here. The most if you don't have a resource group, you have to create it. If you don't have a VNet, you have to create a VNet. If you don't have a subnet, so once you create a subnet, a default subnet, you can a VNet, you can use a default subnet. So if you not, if you want to create it by yourself, you can create one by one. So you can see first you can create a resource group first, then you can check out what are the list of like VNets in your resource group you have, or else you can create a VNet and then the subnet default, and you can provide this address. So you can go through this. So as I already have, so I'm just creating this. So group create resource group network watcher. I am already having this network watcher RG template main.bicep. That is the bicep file name parameter. Just the password I'm providing over here. Subnet. So this is a subscription that I'm having. Then again the resource group provider virtual network. This is the my VNet. If you want to just have a look over here, quick look. So I can showcase. So you can see over here. This is my resource group. I already have my VNet over here. You can see. So this is the region in which we. So you can also create it if you don't have it. Once you have done the prerequisites, you can execute this command. So all these things I will just put in my repository. So I will share that in the description of the video. So you can just simply copy paste and execute these commands in order to run. Coming back to this, so let me execute this. If it asks, if it just wait, maybe it may wait for the AZ login. Let me check if anything is proceeded with the Just at the preview, nothing has happened. So it is running. We can just have a quick look into our source group. If anything is getting spinned up, you can see network interface came over. So one desk call, we can just refresh one more. Here we go. So our VM is here. So this is how we can use the Bicep. Again, in the Azure GitHub Bicep samples, you can have all the samples there. So if you are having a Azure ecosystem is there, so you can just prefer using Bicep. It is more friendly. But if you're having like a mix of everything, then you can go ahead with the Terraform. But if you are from a development background, definitely you can prefer Pulumi. But there are some requirements are there that you can utilize, but it's very easy to use. So we'll just wait for it. So this one has been completed. Let me go through the command. So you can see this has been created and an output is being provided. So you can see your, that's it. So I hope it is fine. This one Bicep and Terraform. Let's move to the Pulumi over here. Let's see what's going wrong. Stop this one again and we will go back to the Pulumi over. Let's open the term. So we will just run the Pulumi up. Let's see, no Pulumi yum. So we will go to the direct, that is our S3 hyphen Pulumi, then Pulumi. So it is telling you to paraphrase to unlock. Okay. So I will enter over here my password that I have set over here. Error stack is currently locked by one locks. So it's being process ID is given over. Anyways, I can just do one thing over here. Let's go through it. This is for the tail. This one was for the bike. We can try one more. So we can just type it over here. Pulumi can dev new. Okay. So it has cancelled that. Let's try again. We will just wait for this one to finish, or I can just show you another terminal in which we can proceed with the other. This one I have logged in something, but it can be sometimes, network issues. I just wait for 1 or 2 minutes, then I'll proceed with another. We can do one thing. Let's quickly, instead of waiting for this one to be finished, so we can just quickly create a folder. So we can just create a new folder over here, S3. Just I can name it as S3 bucket over. So I can just open terminal over. If you see the commands over here, as I mentioned, we are that directory, then we can execute this Pulumi new AWS. So you can see project name, let's say demo P, then a minimal AWS Python program. So, okay, we will choose the US East one. So just click yes. So it's creating the virtual environment and installing the any dependencies. Oops, I just switch on to that. So this one will take some. So you can see over here, this your new project is ready to go, and use the command the Pulumi up. So I just type it down. So enter your paraphrase. So I hope it works now. Maybe sometimes get stuck with some corrupt files and all. We'll just wait for it. Let me. So you can see over here, I just ran in my another environment of my VS Code. So you can see just I mentioned over here Pulumi up, and it just asked me for the phrase to unlock that environment variables, and that's it. So it will just create my bucket. I can just show you over here. It has created one. So you can see just now it is created 20. This is the bucket. So let me delete this bucket over. Sometimes like pulling something, it may create some like, I don't know why it is being stuck. So normally it should not be stuck. It will ask for the environment file that you want to, and that's, so these are the latest buckets being created. Let me go back to my VS. I'll show you this one. It should not get stuck over here. It should just ask it after asking you about this Pulumi config paraphrase secrets and all. It should continue. Maybe some installation has went wrong in this. I don't know, like maybe some configuration is not done properly. So you can see over here once I make it Pulumi up. So this is the paraphrase I'm adding. So you can see it is updating the environment. See how quickly so it is running this. So do you want to perform this update? Yes, because we have already deleted the bucket from there. So it is up. So it will just show you the type name, and so you can see. So this is the out. So let me check whether 51E is being created or not. It is just so we need to create a 51. Let me check the region. Okay, this is the same region. Let's do one. We can. It is pulling up from the same environment. Let me check over here, or let me. Yep. So it is not basically updating. So we can provide some name to the. Let's see over here. My bucket. Let's say. So you can see one to delete and one to create. So we will just click keep. It's running locally. That's why it is just keeping that value. It's not syncing over there. That's bucket, my bucket. So that's it. So we can check over our bucket 2 must be created over. So you can see my bucket 2 has been created. So just as you have to take care, better actually I have put it everything in one place, try to keep it segregated all together so you can work. So there's something is being something like some package or something is getting stuck. So that's why it's not moving, it's not proceeding to the next one. As I've shown you in this one was earlierly installed. So it is working. If sometimes some problem, you can go ahead with the AWS configure again and choosing the default region and all. So sometimes you will find that this in the environment variable in the config section, there is no region defined. You can define it manually by yourself. You can see in this one, just a region is being defined and this YAML file is not protected with any passphrase or something like that. So this one is your default YAML file getting generated. So only these three things that you have to do. You have to create a directory, go to that particular directory and run this new AWS. So you can try, you can see minimal code you have to write. This is just by default S3 bucket. You can just get a code for creating. You can just check out one of my video in which I'm just moving the data, creating a table and all those things. S3 data I'm moving to the DynamoDB and all. So similar kind of the Python code you have to write over here in order to create an instance. You can get from the Google and all. You can easily get it down and write it down. So by default, you'll be getting this over here. And Bicep we already discussed. And we have the Terraform that is, as always, the simpler one. And we can say it is a king of infrastructure as a code. But again, if you're having, it depends upon your like environment in which the stack that you're using. If you're Azure, you can go ahead with the Bicep because we have lots of examples in the GitHub, so you can utilize those. And if you're like a mix of everything, then you can go ahead with the Terraform, and developers they can still explore Pulumi. Little bit installation, I find personally myself a little bit difficult, but you may not face these challenges. Do let me know in my comment section if you face this kind of challenges. You can see we were able to perform those actions very easily. I don't know, maybe something is stuck with that particular essence of VS Code and all, why it is not working. So it may take time, some time, or maybe I need to restart my system and all. So, anyways, so this is how just nothing is there. Just once you install the Pulumi, then you can see once up command you have to execute it, and that's it. So there's a cloud version integration is also there. You can, but you need to very first time you need to in order to install, you need to get the secrets, the token in order to activate this. So that comes in the installation time. Do let me know if you face any challenge, and then I will try to troubleshoot if you whatever errors you will be getting. So do give a try to Terraform, Bicep, and Pulumi. Three are very efficient, and it depends upon your choice. And I feel like if you choose any one of them and invest some time on it, and it will be quite easier to use any one of them, whether it's a Terraform or Bicep or it is a Pulumi. So do let me know in my comment section and do give a try to this. I will definitely give this full code on my GitHub repo. So I will share the repo link in my video description. Please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.